Hello and welcome to City 7 News. Here are the headlines. Reprieve for workers with 6-month UAE visa ban. Residents mull Oman trips as rising prices start to bite. Road fatalities in Dubai dropped by 7.5% in 2010. Expatriate workers who have received a 6-month ban on leaving their jobs recently will be able to obtain new work permits from January 1 if they have completed 2 years with their former employers. The Ministry of Labour said these workers will be issued new work permits from January even if they have not served the full 6-month ban. The sponsors cannot force employees to continue to work for them if the workers do not wish to do so. However, if workers have quit before the completion of the 2 years, they will not be issued labour cards until the 2-year period is over. The ministry said if a worker who has cancelled his residence visa returns to UAE on a visit visa, he will not get a work permit before the expiry of the 2-year period. Since the announcement of the deadline extension for the national ID registration, typing officers reported a dramatic decrease in the number of people coming in for application. Despite this and the repeated reminders from the authorities, many are still holding passports of applicants. Our correspondent Khadija Sali has more.
Many residents applying for the population register and identity card system are still leaving their passports at typing centers, believing this is part of the procedure and seemingly unaware of the numerous warnings on identity theft, loss and damage of passports issued repeatedly by the authorities. On the other hand, they say it is the only way to avoid any further delay.
I think this is a procedure. We have to keep the passport here because we already paid for that. When they gave me receipts, that's one of the thing I have the evidence for. They got my passport. This normally that's a procedure. Every customer coming to here, this is a normal procedure.
Typing centers such as this one says it wasn't until 3 weeks ago that the rush became too much to handle. Most centers only have 2 people providing the typing service for the pre-registration and can only process a maximum number of 30 applications per day. And though they have a procedure in place, they face many challenges.
The system is very slow. Sometimes getting the system down, and I think this new format is not like before. Old format. For one application, more than half an hour.
Passports are normally kept inside drawers such as this one, and applicants are given receipts as proof.
Some customers withdrawing their passport from here. Customers coming and coming again and requesting. That is why we are forced to keep their passport here.
Now that applicants are down from hundreds to an average of 10 a day, typing centers are relieved. They say now they can work properly and avoid mistakes on the application, as well as the stress of dealing with chaos given their limited space. Meanwhile, authorities continue to warn residents against leaving passports with typing centers or do so at their own risk. Khadija Sali, City 7 News.
The number of road fatalities in Dubai dropped by 7.5% in 2010. Figures released by Dubai Traffic Department showed that a total of 142 cases of road deaths were recorded from the beginning of the year until the end of November. A remarkable drop in road fatalities in comparison to last year, where 225 deaths were recorded in the Emirate in road mishaps. During this period, the number of serious injuries stood at 161, moderate injuries at 509 and minor injuries at 1,311, the figures showed. This fall can be attributed to the coordinated efforts of the department in cooperation with other authorities. A number of recommendations are currently under study for improving the traffic system in the Emirate. Instability in world food prices has hit shopping baskets in Emirates hard, with many consumers considering stocking up on necessities from neighbouring Oman. Fresh fruit, vegetables and other commodities continue to rise sharply, with prices of vegetables having increased by 9.49% and fruits reaching 6.29%, a startling figure considering the Emirates' history in enjoying fresh produce in abundance. As early as October, fruits like apples and bananas used to sell for dirhams 6.75 and dirhams 4.20 per kilo respectively, which now have hit a record high of dirhams 11.75 and dirhams 5.30 at most supermarkets in the city. According to Dubai Statistics Center, the cost of living in Dubai has increased by a slight 0.61% during the third quarter despite falling housing cost. Even non-perishables have seen a spike in pricing. A 2-kilogram packet of sugar, which used to cost around dirhams 6.20, is now priced as high as dirhams 9.20 in smaller stores and dirhams 7.50 in hypermarkets. Doctors are advising flu shots to be given to school-age children and the elderly after a global flu warning was issued. They're also urging people not to panic. Doctors suggested that those with diabetes and other chronic diseases should also take precautions by getting vaccinated against the latest strains of the influenza virus. The BBC reported that Northern Hemisphere countries were being told by health experts to brace themselves for the flu outbreaks, especially of the so-called swine flu H1N1 and influenza B. Now that the holidaymakers would be returning to work from Europe and North America, doctors say it's better to take the precautions. Coming up later in the show, Dubai Shopping Festival on a promotional drive. But first, Laura Buckwell joins me with today's business news, so stay tuned.